Hello viewers and welcome to the Dwarf Fortress Collaborative Series. This will be episode 31, I believe, inside said series, and well, this will probably be the last video for year number 3, seeing as how it's already late winter. So before I hand off the game to Riot House, I want to do a few things kind of just before we leave here. So one of them is that we want to take a look at some of the battle logs from the game. We want to check out our military stuff, and I think we will form up a second squad. So when I leave him, the game hopefully will have a second melee squad, kind of conscripted and training, and after that we'll just kind of leave him with a whole bunch of military goods and some fortifications around here. So with that being said, we want to just kind of do as much as we can during the last little bit here. So I think I'll assign my orders right now, and I'll just talk a little bit about what we'll be leaving off with. So we're going to be, I see that we have these two caged, let me see if I can find them during this list. Yeah, we can see that we have two caged cave dragons present here, and this fortress actually doesn't have a stockpile for animals, so we'll be making a side room here where we'll be able to keep those animals, and that's what I plan on doing with our miners right there. Another thing what we want to do here is that currently we want to get a floodgate set up inside this hallway right here, and we'll just kind of lock down that area. So we'll do that. And we'll actually also be building a few floodgates inside this area as soon as that completes. But I do want to form that second military squad, so we'll be doing another draft. And in the meantime, what I will be doing is that we can get our full 4 forges working at one time now. So I'm going to get these guys to be making breastplate, leggings. So you have the shoes, you know, the pants, the armor. I think you can actually wear the mail shirt and the breastplate at the same time, but I don't think we'll do that for now. And I'll make some helms. So they have the chest, the legs, the head, and then I guess we'll make some shields in general. I'll skip the greaves and stuff like that for now, seeing as how that takes a long time. So we'll build some armor for a second squad here. And during that time, what I think I'll do is that have our hospital here, and they will just kind of continue doing their own thing. Somebody said to build the hospital a little differently so that the dwarves are able to just kind of move the wounded dwarves to the surgery area more efficiently when you build them. They mentioned it as building it into a square, but with only 3 objects. That's kind of weird. So what I think I'll do here is that we will just kind of get the kitchen to stop making stuff for now. And well, we also do want to get that soap production up, so I think I'll just leave the hospital with the table and the bed next to each other for now, because I think how they put it was that when you move the dwarves out of the beds, it wakes them up and you can't do the surgery then, or something like that. So I'll leave that like that. For now, what we want to do is that we still want to produce some soap with using tallow and stuff like that. So I'm going to go inside here, do professions, and we'll just find some guy. We'll find a gem cutter, I suppose, and we'll just assign him those 2 tasks. So maker, wood burning, these 3 things I believe is what you need. So we'll get one guy to just do that, and we'll get that set up. So now what I plan on doing is that we want to open up the little floodgate by a little bit, so then we can hopefully get the well nice and flooded. And as that happens, we can do some rough checks around the fortress. So yeah, that'll fill up this area. We can wait for a little bit before we close it. So there we go. Wait for a little bit, and then pause. Close the little thing. There we go. So this area is this area is pretty much finished. We can leave off by making some more rock pots, and I'll just get some guy to repeat doing that. We have traps being built up top, and now I think it's time to just check around the fortress. Apparently... Oh, that's right, we forgot to close this gate. There we go. So, well, at least our dwarves got to enjoy the mists for a little longer, I suppose. So going down into the fortress, yeah, I really don't know why that giant termite hasn't broken through the door yet, but we're just going to kind of leave that for Riot House, I suppose, who is going to take over for year 4. So this door is actually passable, so it's kind of there. The giant forgotten beast here, what is he? A huge eyeless mite with 4 curving horns and a slavering clear exoskeleton. Beware, it's poisonous gas. He's just kind of sitting out here, and I suppose if you really want, if Riot House wants to, he can send in the military to clear him out if he so chooses to. What has happened here? Somebody has died of thirst, apparently. Yeah, well is flooded here. Who has died of thirst, though? Let's see. Shrike the Guard's Dwarf has died, apparently out of thirst. And where was he then? Because I have a feeling somebody has assigned some burrows over here. And now we can't find the people because, yeah, the burrows have been assigned. Shrike may have been inside this bed? Let's see. No, he wasn't here. And he wasn't here either, so... Oh wait, no, this guy is carrying out the body, so yeah, apparently Shrike died inside the hospital. I think nobody, from the looks of it, I mean, nobody gave him enough water for whatever reason, so that's kind of that. These guys are still recovering, I suppose. And yeah, let's see, they should be able to actually come up here to grab water. But for whatever reason, I suppose nobody just gave him water for the longest time. So that is rather unfortunate. Now, in the meantime, what we can do here is that I actually figured out how to check up on those military reports. So we'll be able to see those, and we'll be able to see what has happened inside the recent times, like that. So I'm seeing here, how exactly did he die out of without having any water, though? I mean, I recall somebody actually carrying a bucket around inside this area, trying to give these people water. Yeah, like that. So now this guy isn't thirsty anymore. So I think we'll let that area just continue to be flooded. But yeah, so they either only require water from wells, and they can't take it from up above, or nobody got to him in time with a bucket. Speaking of starvation and hunger and dehydration and all of that stuff, who kept this guy around? Because I noticed this earlier, how the broker hasn't moved from the trade depot here, and apparently one of the players has assigned Gargan, the broker, to this burrow, and from this burrow you can't actually give him any he can't access food, so we're going to take him off of there, and he'll be able to get food for himself. This guy's working secretly on building what I presume to be another artifact, so we'll let him do that. And yeah, now making some soap. I recall we need some ash, so we'll make 5 units of ash right there, and we'll be able to get that moving. Using the whole, I figured out that there's actually this log section here, reports for battles, and if we actually check this, we'll see that we can find the combat logs for the practice spars that we have right now, but unfortunately, if we go back in it, to the very beginning, we can't actually see the fight between the Eden and stuff, but it does list every single fight that has occurred here. So, just kind of going off of this list, the bottom here is, the third page here is what had happened earlier, and then the further you go towards the first page, the shorter the time, obviously. So this here, where the green arrow is, appears to be the start of the first siege, and yeah, with these logs, you can't see the recent announcements anymore because it's been too long since then, but we can tell the general gist of the fighting from this list. And what has happened so far was that inside the first battle here, what I can tell off of this list is that the 2 goblin lashers were probably killed by, they were killed by the crossbow dwarves, were something like that. So they got picked off to something over here in Dusk Gosp. They were picked off, and then what had happened was that the giant bat died, or started his fight, so I presume that the giant bat died here. Whether or not the giant bat was shot dead is another story, simply because we found the body of the giant bat on the roof, so he may have been bludgeoned down by one of the crossbow dwarves. Seeing as how, if we actually pull up the list here of military skills, our military dwarves are actually fairly decent. These guys, who are also archers and markstorers, they're actually fairly proficient on fighting with their crossbows as hammers. So we have, if we compare it to the list of laborers over here, 20 is legendary. I think 8 and 10 is when they're pretty much they start to become really rather good. And I forgot how the what this leveling system is. I think it may just be straight up from 0 up to 20. So you go from 0 to 20 just progressively. But what I was thinking of was that it may have been like, you go up to level 10. 10 is the maximum, and then you jump up to level 20 when you get up to legendary. But from the looks of it, from this blacksmith or metalsmith, that doesn't seem to be the case. So that's kind of that. The thing that we really just need to know is that the military has fairly decent combat skills. I mean, I definitely prefer it to be at around 10, but these guys are definitely alright. Alehammer, the captain of the militia, has 7-7, and I think the most highly skilled military dwarf that is currently still alive is, it appears to be Mario, unless there's somebody down here. Probably not, yeah. So yeah, that is the military at a glance. We see crossbowmen. These guys are newly recruited crossbowmen. They have a very low hammer ability, so they probably won't be able to defend themselves in a melee as effective as the veterans of the guard squad. Actually, I think I'll read the scores here, because I do remember one of these guardsdorf being displayed on the death. The one that died of dehydration, apparently. So we got him off of the list, and now it's just kind of sitting around there. These guys, the crossbowmen recruits that we've just kind of levied up, they have one decent guy. Kogan's actually pretty good at using his archery and his hunter ability, and he has an ambusher skill of 5, which leads me to believe he may have been a hunter before. And it says here that his top 3 roles are hunter, ambusher, and small animal dissector. For his actual job, though, he may have been a tanner, just going off of his highest moodable skill. So yeah, that's kind of him at a glance. He has he has low strength, low agility, decent toughness, unfortunately very low endurance, but I mean, his skills make up for that in that he's fairly capable with a crossbow. Going forwards, you have 2 other guys. This guy actually doesn't have any melee capability at all, but still, he's actually not that great of a Marksdorf either, but I mean, he has the skills, and we'll use him as he goes along, right? So that is the current recruits for the squad. I think because one of the people died of dehydration. I really don't know why that guy died of dehydration, because we have the well was dry when he died, but we have plenty of water sources up here, so maybe they only take water from the well. Now, the other 2 people here though seem to be fine. So Balcor, has he actually killed anything? No. Belcor is only, he's wounded in upper right hand, upper left upper leg. He appears to be stable though, along with Steinson, which is only damaged inside the foot. And Steinson has killed 2 menaced knives, and I believe that is, let me switch the panels here. 2 menaced knives was was one of the goblin lashers. So yeah, Steinson seemed to have killed him with the crossbow. I had tried to find the logs for who killed the two notable people, the 2 notable mace dwarves, or mace goblins, but I couldn't find them exactly. I can find this person killing Olingo Spirestolen, or it might be him though. So yeah, what I mean by that is that Olingo Mes Spakus over here was the Mace Lord, but his last name doesn't match, and actually, never mind. It looks like this guy actually did kill the Mace Lord, or no, not him. Soka maybe? Where did he go? Yeah, I think Mario killed the Mace Lord, now that I think about it, seeing as how he has killed the person with the first name of Olingo, and Steinson killed 2 menaced knives, and menaced knives is, the last name is a translation, so that makes sense. So this is apparently Olingo, and menaced knives in Goblin, whatever is cuts mob, and it's like that. So yeah, we found out who killed Olingo then, so that's rather nice. The nasty Mace Dwarf who flew in here. So Mario killed him, I suppose, and yeah, the year works out. Mario's his thoughts and preferences is there if you want to read about him. 81 years old. Pretty sturdy guy, I've got to say. So he has, let's actually go back to that list. It says, he has been very happy recently. He has had a pretty good drink, fine drink again, slept in a very good bedroom, and he took joy in the slaughter recently. So I suppose, yeah, he did kill that guy. I'm gonna see if any other veterans are here. So we have Alehammer. Alehammer apparently also has some kills, and Wheelmine. Wheelmine is probably a different location now, isn't it? So let's see. Is a citizen of the is a member of the Braided Bolt. Former member. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this giant bat listed here isn't the one that we had killed up here on top of the roof. So that's pretty. Yeah, I think that's different. If we actually do go into the Legends section of the game, we should be able to actually figure out who killed the giant bat up there. But for now, I think that's just a mystery, seeing as how inside our militia squad, inside the fortress guard, there's one spot available right here. So we'll replace him, whoever just died, with a hunter. So we'll replace him with Zelben. And yeah, that works out. So again, we have a full complement of guards, marks, crossbow doors, I suppose now. But we do have to take into consideration that we're missing apparently 1, 2, 3. We're missing 4 veterans from the first siege. So one of them may have nicked off the actual giant bat from the first siege, and again, one of them may have nicked off the second giant bat. So at this moment, we can't really tell who did that for sure. Apparently, we made a wild bone scepter, so we will check that out. This thing is worth a ton. Is it worth more than the cup though? The Scheist mug is worth 52k, rounded up, and this one is worth 50k, so slightly less, but still pretty damn impressive. Let's read about it. This is a wild boar bone scepter, all craftiveness of the highest quality, all of that stuff. It's apparently decorated with wild boar bone and dingo bone, rounded green termalides, and some stuff. And does it say what picture it is on here? And some giant cave spider silk apparently, but there's an image of an oval Chabokan in wild boar bone, apparently. Anyhow, we have a scepter here that's worth a ton, which is probably going to attract a ton of migrants. So we'll just leave it at that. And yeah, here we go. Now we have a full stockpile of caged animals that we can use. So actually, what we were doing before we looked at the kills, I think we were looking at the combat logs here. So yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to actually see into the combat logs of the past. It's a little too late for that, but we can deduce the general sequence of the fight. And over here, we see that a lot of war cave dragons appear. So this is page number 1. Page 2 is the first siege. Okay, so page 1 is the current times, I suppose, and over here I'm going to see if we can find anything about any of these fights. Apparently not. Okay, well, the general sequence of the fight, where the general sequence of the second siege appears to be that a lot of cave dragons came into the fight first, and then what had happened was that as the battle progressed, our guards dwarves started shooting, and then afterwards we see that there's this large section right here where the Mace Lord started fighting, and then sandwiched between his messages a lot of other dwarves' messages. So yeah, that says something, I suppose. I think the general sequence of the fight here was that inside the beginning here, the cave dragons came here into the fortress, so they were trying to get into the mouth of our fortress here. What is over here? Oh, apparently a 2, the whatever goblin that what's his name? That Steinson killed. Yeah, a 2 menaced knives. Menaced Knives' body is actually still on the map right here, and yeah, his partial skeleton, and it looks like he was killed by maybe a single copper bolt, because I only see one on his body. Maybe he got hit once and then he was kind of finished off with a second round or a third round or whatever, but the point is one bolt was found on his remains, and yeah. So going back to that list, it appears that the cave dragons came in here, starting off with a cave dragon Snamos, and I think what happened was that they got killed on these weapon traps and stonefall traps here. And then the second little bit was caged, so we have cave dragon number 1 over here, and I think we have cave dragon number 2. Oh, Snamos is apparently the one that got caught, so Snamos is actually the first one on our list here of announcements. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. So that one was captured. It doesn't seem to list when. Oh wait, no, it listed the second one right here. These 2 were captured, and the rest perished. From the looks of it, what happened was that one cave dragon brawled with a cat. The cat obviously died, and then some of these cave dragons are slaughtered on the traps. And then afterwards, after they got through to the cage traps, after they broke through that layer, what happened was that the merchant started engaging the cave dragons, and that's kind of what happened inside this general sequence right here. And it looks like the merchant fought one cave dragon from the looks of it. I mean, just going off the list here, and we might be able to confirm that by looking at the bones here. So apparently a lot of teeth are missing. And I do believe one of the, there's still the remains of one of the cave dragons here, I think. Is this? Yeah. Stozu, the cave dragon's blood is still on his body, apparently. So that is what happened inside this area. Oh, a puppy actually fought inside this battle, or something like that, and took a little bit of damage. So that's kind of the aftermath of the battle. Lingos' skeleton is right here. Is this guy the traders? Yeah, Olingo. This is another guy, Olingo. Spire Stolen. This is Goblin. Yeah, this guy is the Goblin Lord person, the Mace Lord person, yeah. So we found his body, and we know who killed him now, so that is rather interesting. Yeah, Morio, once again, is the killer of the Goblin Mace Lord, so that is rather interesting. And going from there, going back to the logs, what had happened was that it looks like while the merchant brawled with one of the cave dragons, what had happened was that Balcor fought one of the giant bat, Nigso, and I think Balcor is still alive, probably? He's probably alive, I don't think he died. The Bone, Worrybane, and Shrike died, apparently, and Hick the Planter. So who were the... Steinson is injured, and Balcor was the second guy who was injured, but Balcor doesn't seem to have the kill info. So what I presume happened was that Balcor suffered some damage to his right hand and his lower leg in his fight with the giant bat, and in the end, somebody, I think, took his place over. So, you know, I don't know what had happened during the actual fight, but my guess is that during the second siege, Balcor was probably up here. He probably was near the staircase, and you know, I really don't know if the game works like this, but maybe Balcor fought the giant bat. He tried to dodge an attack or something, and he fell down he took some damage, and I presume that he fell down the stairs or something like that. So he was gone, he was out of the fight, and then another dwarf, one of the three killed, may have taken his place, and yeah, and then one of these guys took his place, fought with the Mace Lord and the Giant Bat, managed to kill the Giant Bat, but the Mace Dwarf, or the Mace Lord, may have gotten off the mount and was able to just kind of cut him down, so maybe that was what happened up here. Just kind of some speculation, so yeah, that Mace Lord's back tooth are up here. Oh, actually, we do have the splattered blood, so we might be able to tell here. So let's see, up here, there's apparently something on this tile. Song Uxta, is. So this guy was the goblin, the first goblin to come up here, I presume. Going to this list, repiecing back the fights over here. So, going to the dead and missing list, it looks like Song was the first goblin maceman to come up, and he has died right at the very door into the fortress. So it looks like Song over here, the first mace goblin, he was beaten down by... He and his giant bat appears to have died without and yeah, all of this is their blood, it's none of ours. So I guess he was kind of brought down easily without a fight. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Maybe he was brought down, and then like, yeah, our dwarf suffered some injuries maybe, and it was kind of the end of that. I don't know if you fight with a hatchet, with a hatch here, would the blood spill into the second level is what I'm wondering, because I see some giant bat blood on the stairwell down, but I don't see any. I see some dwarf blood around the staircase. So I'm currently wondering if whether or not this hatch actually allows blood to flow downwards from it and into the surrounding tiles, because from this battle, it looks like one giant bat, one mace goblin came up here, got brawled down without suffering any very serious injuries, and during the second battle, I think, yeah, the second battle was the mace lord actually entering the tower, judging by the lower tooth and all of that falling out. And I think what had happened here is that I see a lot of splattering of giant bat blood. Again, I'm not really sure if that's from the first siege or the second siege, but it's present. So maybe the giant bat got in here, because I think I see a body inside the lower tiles over here. His teeth, the mace lord's teeth goes all the way down here. So Nogoso's skeleton remains over here, and this is giant bat blood. Yeah, there's a lot of blood on him. Giant bat blood splatter, and Song's stuff right here. So if we piece back the battle from the bodies over here, Nogoso appears to have been Olingo's. The Goblin Mace Lord's bat was this one, and then beforehand the giant bat for the Mace Men was Stosbub. So if we do something like that, yeah, okay, so that makes sense then. This giant bat up here is Stostubs' where this remains is Stostubs' body, and what had happened inside the first siege was that, from the looks of it, the first siege, giant bat flew up here with a goblin mace dwarf or mace goblin. He got brawled down without a fight. Second siege, the Mace Lord and his giant bat managed to get inside the fortress, and during that time, I think it was on this level in which the brawl actually happened. From the looks of it, what had happened was that he managed to get into the fortress. He fought with the bone, and yeah, you'll see that I think the giant bat was pretty much killed around this level because of the amount of blood there is here. It might have been on the first level actually. It looks like the giant bat and the Mace Lord brawled with the Bone and Steinson, because this is going on the assumption that no blood up here from the first siege managed to get down in here. So that's kind of what happened there. And in the process, I believe the Mace Lord lost some teeth. After that, the Mace Lord, I think, killed off the Bone. Steinson's blood is over here, so maybe Steinson was knocked unconscious, and then the Mace Lord went down to the second level because he had some sort of priority down here that wasn't so he didn't have the chance to finish off Steinson. But then again, Steinson wasn't actually all too injured. He only had his right foot down. Correlating that with the stats of Steinson, let's see if we can find what endurance Steinson has. So Steinson has low strength, but decent, or actually his endurance is pretty low. His toughness is pretty large. So maybe what had happened is that I'm not too familiar with these stats right here. I actually never took a look at the actual traits of our guys when I played, but he has high agility, high toughness, low endurance, and very, very low strength. So maybe what had happened was that because of his low endurance or something like that, maybe he passed out. But then again, he has high endurance, and when I played, the biggest thing in combat is that you don't want your guy to pass out, and your guys pass out because of pain and lack of oxygen, I think. So yeah, when I had played, what would happen is that in combat, sometimes you get these guys who fought to the end, and they were just constantly passing out. They'd wake up for one turn, hit you, and then they'd fall back down, and it was really rather silly like that. So maybe something happened like that. On one turn, Steinson was already up, and then he fell down. He was knocked unconscious, and the Mace Lord came down one level to brawl with one of the closer dwarves over here. So yeah, maybe that's what happened there. And then a fight broke out on the staircase is what I remember happening. And over here we can see that Copper Flare and Copper Shield still remains. So this is the location. Yeah, I think this tile marked with the yellow X is actually the exact tile where Olingo Spirestolen died, simply because I recall there was a brawl on this level, and somebody would probably go back to the last video and check. But this is where I presume Olingo, the Goblin Mace Lord, fell down in pain, and dropped his shield and flail. So that's probably where that happened. And during the fight, it looks like their pile of vomit too. So maybe the Goblin vomited or something like that, or I don't know, maybe one of our guys. But the point is, it happened. Maybe what had happened was that, yeah, I see Balcor fighting here. So Balcor, let's see. I don't see any of his blood up here, so he couldn't have fallen down from over here. Maybe what had happened was that because, again, Balcor has had fairly little injuries, so maybe what happened was that he got hit on the foot, and then he fell down to the bottom level, or to some level, and he was kind of out of the fight. And going from there, yeah, again, just, speculation, what had happened was that it looks like I recall a lot of dwarves ganging up on the Mace Lord. So what had happened here is that it looks like there's just kind of blood everywhere. So yeah, Shrike's blood is present here along with Olingos's. So maybe Shrike kind of brawled him down or something like that. It's a little hard to tell. Yeah, there's a lot of blood actually inside this direction. So that kind of happened there. Again, Balcor, and actually some more Balcor's blood is present. So I think after that, what had happened is that during the course of the fight, against Olingo. As they battled on the staircase, more and more blood was kind of spilled, and as that blood was spilled, it spilled into the lower levels. And somewhere during the fight, what had happened is that, oh yeah, this is I believe this is all of the Goblin Mace Lord's is stuff. So assuming that it is, checking the Goblin, this is all of Spire Stolen's stuff here. What had happened from the looks of it no, it's partially ours and partially theirs, I think, because I see a crossbow, and I think we had leather armor. If we read the description, can we see where it's from? I highly doubt we have lion leather, so yeah. Going off of the items present on the body, what may have happened was that this crossbow may have been one of ours, because one of the, I think, yeah, because we did lose 2 dwarves up here, we're 3 dwarves up here, so I think one of them may have dropped his crossbow in the fight with the Mace Lord, but during this process, I think all of the troll fur is the Mace Lord's stuff, along with the giant cave silk's stuff over here. All of the copper stuff is probably the Mace Lord's stuff, and it looks like he had 1, 2, 3. He had 6 bronze. He had 6 bolts inside him. Checking our military, the Fortress Guard. I don't know about this actually. Did the how do I check what? Great. Oh, there we go. Ammunition. There we go. That's perfect. So we use the Fortress Guard apparently uses a lot of wood bolts for training, which makes sense. But I don't know if we have any. Oh wait, no, we do have bronze bolts too. I see. And now we have iron bolts, but I'm not sure if we always had iron bolts. But since we do have bronze bolts, what I think happened over here was that maybe what had happened was that a few of these crossbow dwarves were brawling it out with Spire Stolen by fighting him with their crossbows as melee weapons, and then somewhere along the line, maybe when Spire Stolen was flying up to the tower, or maybe when he got into the tower, but somewhere inside the process, from the looks of it, I mean, Spire Stolen had 6 rounds, 6 bolts inside of him over the course of the battle. So yeah, that's kind of odd. I'm rather surprised that he may have survived 6 shots. Maybe some of these bolts were carried by whoever was carrying the rubber wood crossbow, and just so happened to drop down here. But yeah, I mean, it's still kind of weird. So after that, I think the brawl ended. Oh, there's actually some more bolts here, along with Nogosus's the Bats' skeleton. So out of a combined total of 9 bolts, these bolts may have hit the Goblin Mace Lord. It may have hit his bat. It looks like 3 hit his bat is probably what happened. And some of these may have been dropped, but over the course of the battle, I mean, I'd like to think that that the Goblin Mace Lord managed to take 6 shots in him, and he was also able to kill 2 dwarves, I suppose, or 3 dwarves, I suppose, during that fight, and still lived through to just kind of finish off the battle by brawling it down with some dwarves or something like that. Anyhow, it's been quite a long time doing some battlefield detective stuff, I guess. But I guess I'll see you guys later. You know what? I think I'll just hand over the save file right now. We saw what had happened during this battle, I suppose. We have a rough picture of the battle, I suppose. So I'll see you guys later on. Oh, I should mention that, I just remembered, I think I saw a few goblin crossbow bolts actually hit our dwarves up here, so maybe some of those bronze and wood bolts were theirs. Anyhow, we'll see you guys later on. Bye-bye.